a show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith, Winston, Leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night, 'cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
And good morning, I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and look who's in town.
Hey, y'all.
How you been?
Been doing good. Staying busy like usual, you know. I don't
She said she was
downtime hardly at all. So.
Going to get a Coke, and we ain't heard from you since.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I do stay busy, though. I hope everybody's been doing well.
I guess it's been a little over a year since you've been a guest, is it?
Yeah,
something
it's been
like
a while. Yeah, it has been a while.
Time has flown. And
lots of things have changed, I guess. And,
yeah, we got a new president since you've been here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, there's lots of talk with this, and I don't know the answer. I'll be honest with you on this, about the tariffs. Is it a good chance we're going to pay for products that are more expensive? There's probably a good chance of that, but I almost want to have faith that by doing this, it will fix problems for us down the road.
Right.
That's what we hope.
Yeah, I hadn't really understood the whole income tax stuff, or, you know.
Well,
do you know what all that's about?
The income tax, no, I'm not even up to par on it.
Yeah. I've heard different things about, somebody said he was getting rid of income tax, or.
Well, that would be good.
Yeah, that would be great, but I don't know. I mean,
if everybody paid a flat rate, they would make more money.
Yeah.
Flat, period. I do get that.
Yeah.
The tariffs, we wouldn't be having this if we had products made in America, which we don't. Everything's brought in. We'll see how this does it, and it is a big standoff with each country that's dealing with this.
Yeah.
And again, I wish I could tell you that electronics are probably going to be one of the first things that goes up.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't think there's anything made in the U.S. with that, is it?
I mean, I hardly doubt it, yeah. I know that we do need to get a lot more self-sufficient in this country, get back to taking care of things here and quit supporting everybody overseas.
Well, we may have like 3 car manufacturers here, but as we all learned during COVID, we didn't have the electronics to put in the cars to even sell them.
Right.
Which drove used car prices way up during that. And that's what needs to be fixed.
Yeah, and am I right when I say that, like, the electric cars, the batteries are made in China?
I believe so. I don't believe they're made here.
Yeah, I think.
Very hard to put out. They're very expensive when you go to replace one of those. Do I think that there's a future in that down the road? Yeah. It's not here yet. We'll see what it becomes later on, but it's not ready people aren't ready for that yet.
I just think that, you know, when they tried to force people into buying electric cars and you weren't able to, or were not going to be able to buy gas-powered cars, I just think that people didn't take that too good.
No, they didn't.
And I think you should have a choice. I think if you want to get an electric vehicle, that's great. If you want to get a gas-powered, that's great, but you need to have the choice. So.
Right, and a generator to pull around behind you to charge it.
You know what? I kept thinking, what if you get in a traffic jam and you're sitting there for hours and you're already low on, like, your battery's already kind of low? What do you do? I mean,
and correct me if I'm wrong. The only place that would really work would be the large cities. The rural route, I mean, it's not like out in the middle of a pasture you whoop over and there's a place to charge your car.
Right. It's not like somebody can come bring you a little can of gas to get you.
Now, the farmer used to bring you the can of gas when you run out. What's he bring? Is a charger?
Right. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but.
A lot to be learned on this subject as we dig deeper into this. They were making fun of this young lady. She is our new Homeland Security leader, Kristi Noem. Wasn't she? She was the governor of South Dakota, was she not?
Yes.
They're giving I think she's cute in it. They were giving her an ultimate hard time. She went to a press conference this week, and let me show you the picture. This was from Daily Mail, wearing her cowboy hat, and they have been giving her a hard time about that. Why?
I don't know. I just think, you know, when people want to nitpick with somebody, they just run it in the ground sometimes, and they can't stand. I mean, she is a pretty lady.
Oh, she is.
A lot of times people just, you know, use that as a excuse to just
go after somebody,
make fun and say ugly things and try to hurt them. But I mean, just like they did Melania.
Oh.
You know, that first presidency, you know, first.
They wouldn't let her on the cover of anything.
And it's horrible. I think she's a beautiful lady. I think she's got a lot of grace and class, and, you know, they just were horrible to her. So.
Speaking of class, I think we need to go ahead and move into that before we go any further. Kanye, are you aware of what happened last night?
I am not.
Okay, I'm going to show.
He's a little bit out there. You know,
I'm going to show you a picture and not show it on here because I can't show it to everybody. It's because he and his wife went unannounced.
Oh, he has another wife now?
Well, that whatever her name is, I don't even know it. It's the lady that never speaks.
Oh, I don't know. He had Kim Kardashian,
right, at one time. This is.
I'm not up to date then. I guess.
Are you familiar with her dressing scantily?
I'm sure. I haven't really known him to be with anybody that wasn't.
Well, this is. You have really been out of the news cycle for a while.
I guess. I watch the news all the time, but I guess I missed that.
They show up in his car and they walk across, and she walks onto the red carpet and she drops her coat. They were asked to leave after this. Let me just show you that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see what I see, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much nothing.
It was see-through. Yeah. It was 100% totally naked.
Yeah. That's just
now
classless.
It was, and I don't think the average American really cares anymore about the Grammys and who wins an award. It's for within the insiders, I think. But my heavens, and he was. At least they did ask him to leave. It was a nude dress.
Yeah, it was a nude dress. But I mean, why even say it's a dress at all? You know, and let's just say I'm wearing pantyhose.
Somebody called me last night and they said, "Did you see her adjusted?" They said, "Did it matter? It needed adjusting. You could see everything."
I don't understand people like that. I mean, just keep that mess at home. I don't know.
I don't
want to see that.
Is he a thrill seeker? What do you call those people that do that? There's a word for it. That do things in public to get attention. That they get a rush from it. I'll think of what the name of it is in a little bit, but
I kind of call it trashy, but
it is.
I don't know. Anyway, I just don't understand why people have to do that. I mean, but there are people out there who like just any kind of attention. It doesn't matter if it's bad attention, as long as they're getting attention. You know.
I have never seen the woman, and there's a blurred picture that I've got here showing you.
Yeah.
I've never heard the woman speak. Her name is Bianca Censor? Is that what it is? Can you imagine what her family feels like?
I can't imagine anybody not trying to give her a little bit of advice going, I kind of wouldn't do that, you know. Not a good idea.
It's almost like he's, I don't want to say it's abusive, but there's something going on there.
Yeah.
Where it's verbally, whatever you want to call it.
Probably so.
But
you know, I've seen people, I want to give kudos to the ones who keep their composure, keep their like class and their grace and everything because even to me, like Taylor Swift, I mean, she's kind of gone out there in a different direction, you know. I mean, I've never seen her wear anything like that. I don't think she would, but she,
this has got to be the only woman in America that would do that.
Yeah.
Other than being at one of those where they have the fireman's poles. I don't know what those places are called. I've only heard tell of them.
Yeah.
Don't know. I'll have to phone a friend to find out what they're called.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, Odie did not take any pills or change anything. He sure got prettier overnight, didn't he?
Goodness.
And for those, I don't know if this is Candace. If for a lot of you that haven't watched, Candace used to be with us in the beginning of the show years ago. And Odie is off this morning. Him and Greg are on an adventure out at NAS Meridian.
Yeah.
And Candace came in to help.
Glad to fill in, and I'm glad to be back and seeing everybody's comments and everything. Good morning, y'all.
There's the word I couldn't think of. Thank you, Debbie. It's called exhibitionist is what they call that. And there's people, weirdos, I'm going to go ahead and say that word, that like that stuff.
Yeah.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. We had a lot go in.
Twisted.
Yeah, Twisted. They made some boots
Twisted
after that, too.
Minds.
Twisted. We got a lot of local things that's gone on over the weekend. We'll tell you about those next as we begin this Monday together. Welcome, chilly 41, but don't worry, it'll be 76 before it's done.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options. helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. And welcome back. Scotty Ray and Candace, as she's back for a visit as we gather all this. I saw a headline this weekend that read, "Immigrants fear required ICE check-ins could lead to deportations." My words are, duh.
Yeah. The other one, the other guy, that I saw the other day, the Haitian guy that was saying he wasn't going back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, buddy,
Was
you
it
are.
old Mike said, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Sure are.
Overnight, we had a shooting in the city of Meridian, and I think a car wreck was involved in this. In the end of this, this would be 8th Street and 56th Avenue. And you go, well, we're on 8th Street. I've never seen a 56th. And this is off the beaten path. Let me find my map and show you exactly where that is. I got one pulled up here somewhere to show you.
My parents used to live on 50th. So
Oh.
I'm familiar with that area. It's right behind the college.
Yep, this is across from the college is where this would be. This is Highway 19. This is Highway 80 West. You'd have to go down 53rd and cut over.
Oh.
I didn't realize 8th Street did that. You think it's the main drag, but it's off the beaten path. A shooting happened there last night. It was a young man taken to the hospital. Ambulance took him in. I want to say that it was most likely a wound to the head. I think he is going to be okay as we wait for more information explaining what really went on with that. I think the shooting led to a car accident, and I don't know. I don't think anybody's been arrested at this point, but he is expected a full recovery over this. And, most everything that happened over the weekend, I had somebody text me and said, "Hey, you ain't posting nothing in 8 hours. Are you okay?"
I have people ask me all the time, how does he know all this stuff? Is he just sitting on the roadsides everywhere?
Well, I was Saturday. And I got one or two good videos. The Meridian Police Department was out hot and heavy Saturday night. But the most I got was tail light. It was nothing big. I was expecting something bigger, but they were on traffic patrol Saturday night. And but yeah, we get a lot of inboxes of what's going on here, and you move over to that side of town to see what happens. We had two shootings in Meridian over the weekend. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk about the next one here. We'll come back to this. And what did I do with it?
It's still all going on. I thought it would settle down a little bit, but
here's our second shooting that we had here. This was around midnight on the February 1st, which would have been early Saturday morning. It was right there, 31st, right at the stroke of midnight. We had one person taken by private vehicle on Friday night with a gunshot wound. The location where it happened has not been released by the Meridian Police Department, but we do know that it happened right at midnight. They were taken by a private vehicle to the hospital. They're going to be okay. It's not life-threatening. Both shootings this weekend fell under that category, but nonetheless, we did have two shot over the weekend. During the daytime, now I'm telling you, everything was just kind of smooth. The warmer weather had everybody out enjoying themselves, doing a few things that they hadn't been able to do in weeks.
yeah.
And,
Dark falls, and I guess everybody goes crazy.
yeah, it changes everything, and I'm ready for daylight saving times to be the number one thing.
Yeah. Are they going to change that to be just like stay the same? I've heard rumors.
It's supposed to. It started when Trump was in office, and then after he left office, nothing else was done about it. I would really like for that to be pushed on through, and we have one time, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's not the old days, the farming days, where we used to rely on all that. Let me pull this up. We were given this by the family, and we want to read this to you as they put this out. And again, this gentleman is from Noxubee County, is where he comes from. The Black Hawk that went down, one of America's deadliest air traffic disasters that we've had, as we pull this up. This is Andrew Lloyd Eaves. With deep sorrow, we mourn the loss of our beloved Andrew, a pillar of strength in our family. He embodied unwavering love for those closest to him and unshakability commitment to serving his country. From the start of his career, Andrew pursued excellence with his whole heart, achieving his dream of becoming a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. Through his passing leaves an immeasurable void. We find comfort in knowing that he gave his life in service to what he loved most, his country, his calling, and his fellow soldiers. Andrew's faith, generosity, and commitment to his country will continue to inspire all of us. We're truly grateful for the love and support we have received and kindly ask for privacy as we navigate through this profound loss. The family of Andrew Lloyd Eaves. And again, it just shows you just how close things are. This is Noxubee County.
Right.
2 counties due north of Meridian.
There was a girl who when I was going to scuba, I was a cheerleader up there in college, and a girl that I went to scuba with and also cheered with, she had a post about it. I think she had shared a post about him and said that he was just a kind person and that he was just wonderful to everybody, so, and I think he might have been kin to her. So prayers for their family. That is a horrible thing to have to go through.
It is. We got it on our page if you'd like to read more about that, and also on our website as well as we get into it's heartbreaking.
That whole incident was heartbreaking. I'm wondering if they ever figured out, what exactly happened.
Not
what
yet.
Went wrong.
Trump has made several statements of how did this copter get in the path of this plane.
Right. It was like 200 feet higher than it should have been, they said.
And as we know in the beginnings that the air traffic controllers, and it may not be all their fault, we don't know.
Right.
But there's normally 2 air traffic controllers on duty, one that handles copters, one that handles planes. The guy left early, left one person in charge, and he was trying to navigate both planes and copters. And could a mistake happen? I guess it could have.
And I've also heard that is one of the most tedious jobs that there is, an air traffic controller. And they said that there were 800 flights in and out of that airport every day, and that they should have had 30 controllers there, and they only have 19.
Yeah, that is the official.
You can imagine how overworked they are. So.
Not a job that I would be good at. There's not one of those things where you lax at your job ever on that. That's not a job. Right. You don't just go to the bathroom and stop at the coffee machine, and you got to be sitting there.
They said every minute there's a plane. Every minute. I mean, can you imagine? Every minute of your day is accounted for.
And when this happened, we don't. It was 2005 the last time we had something like this happen. We just don't have this in the U.S. of A.
Right.
You get on an airplane, you're safe.
Yeah.
It's a rarity we talk about it outside of private planes crashing.
It's just horrible.
We'll see on this as what becomes of this. Now, up next, we're going to tell you all about nine people arrested, a murder charge in Meridian, and 9 people have went to jail. We're going to show you pictures and talk to you about this next. We were there live on the scene when it all happened. We'll be back in just a moment to tell you more.
Are you tired of your old car being a dud? Well, come into Kia Meridian, where we're giving up to $3,000 over KBB for your trade-in. We have interest rates of over 0.9% and up to $3,000 in rebates. Come in at the Kia Meridian and drive off in a new car and a new you for the new year. Come see us.
Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger, Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Candace this morning, filling in for Odie, who is out of NAS Meridian. We're not sure why he's there.
Yeah.
We'll find out in a little bit, hopefully, there.
Yes.
We mentioned the very first murder. We've had one so far this year in the city limits of Meridian. Happened on January 23rd, right around 5 o'clock, if I remember correctly. And 3 people have been charged with the murder and 6 others in connection with the murder, which means they had some form of knowing something, helping in some kind of a way after the fact. As we pull this up, let's take a look at this. In this first picture are the 3 people that are charged with murder. Anton Lee, also Jacoby Lee, and then Brandarius McShane, all charged with murder. Now, 6 people have been charged in connection. Jesse Halbert, Andrea Terry, Stacy Hughes. I want to say that's Contavious Walker. I'm close.
Yeah.
Patsy Lee, and then Terry Walker. Involved in this. The stories on our page, the Meridian Police Department put this out late Friday night as they made the arrest, and we passed along that information. And again, the murder solved within a week, and 9 people being arrested and associated. That's big.
Yeah, that is big.
We give kudos when somebody does a fantastic job, and they have been doing that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I wanted to say was, because things have changed, if you'll notice, we've seen more police officers lately. We've seen a little bit more going on. Darrell Thompson has taken over as assistant. Well, no, it's not assistant. What do you call it when you haven't been named? I'll think of it as... like
an interim?
Interim. That's the word. Boy, I was blank this morning.
I wasn't sure where we were going with it. I
was blank on that for a moment, but he has done a fantastic job on that as captain since he has taken over. It's a huge change for the Meridian Police Department. Not as many true bills, if y'all notice that, going through when it goes over to Cassie's department. We're not getting those. He's showing the people how to fill out the paperwork. And for over 3 years, 3.2 years, 3.5 years, we didn't have that in the Meridian Police Department. He's acting.
That's great.
So it's been a big change.
But the sad thing is some of these look like just kids.
Well, they were.
Little kids. I mean, I'd say little kids, but
teenagers.
Young, very young. I mean, it's horrible that they've ruined their lives at this young of an age.
You know, as you say that, the majority of our shootings in Meridian now are teens. All of these that get shot in the car, most of these, our juveniles, are barely over the age of 18. We have a huge problem with that. Gangs have gotten into our high schools and they start recruiting at an early age, and by the time somebody reaches 15, they're a veteran.
Yeah.
And that's where we are in Meridian, and it's got to change.
Yes. Only God can change it, I'll tell you.
It is. So that is the latest, and again, if you want to go back and read all of this, let me pop this down where you can see this. This is what you'll look for on the page. We've also got that on our website also where you can read about that. The gang unit, detectives, violent crime unit all worked tirelessly to get that done, and they did.
We appreciate them very much.
It was pure chaos down there, and I've had several people now, as they were investigating the murder there, at least 2 of these were standing there watching the whole time. They never left.
So they were just there knowing they had an involvement with it, yeah. It's just bold and brazen, I guess you call it.
And I do take, it goes back to what I do. I take a lot of pictures when I arrive on scene. I don't use them all or put them all out there, but I take a lot of pictures. Sometimes you go back and you find a lot of things that you didn't see when you were standing in the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Boy, but that's a big deal for the Meridian Police Department to have caught those. And I think this came out, I can't remember if we talked about this Friday, but I'm going to mention the name again in case we didn't. I can't remember. We had done a story last week of a police officer, a former Meridian police officer, who took his life as marshals arrived on scene in Smith County to take him in custody. As they did, he took his own life. And that name has been released. Smith County released that. It is Bud May. is who that was. He was a former police officer, roughly 58 years old, was accused of at least 16 allegations around sexual misconduct with a minor. Again, it'll never go to trial now due to that self-inflicted wound, and that's what we have on at this point. We have not gotten a list of what those 16 charges were yet.
Right.
I'd like to get my hands on that so we can put that out there. I know as in it's accusations because it never went to trial, but my oh my, and y'all, there's a lot. And you see it as well as I do. There's a lot of suicide. I know there was another suicide attempt in Lauderdale County this weekend. We don't always cover those things. If it happens in public, we cover it. If it happens at a home, we do not. It's a sad thing, but
it's a horrible thing. It leaves, and I just believe that when that happens, somebody just has to snap. And something's not mentally right. But I just feel sorry for the ones they leave behind. A lot of times it's children, different family members, and what is bad in those situations where those things happen to where people have to come home and find it. Yes.
And that just, that rattles, especially if a child were to find that. I don't have the answers. I know it's just horrible. Candace you've always cut hair.
I have.
And,
for 32 years, 34 years.
I
don't know. I've lost count. I'm 50. I'm 50
I was
years
teasing.
old.
I wasn't going to make you tell.
Oh, I'm not. I don't care. I'm just glad to be alive.
But also in your haircut, you've started another adventure here.
I have. I have a clothing boutique, and it's actually right off the side. You enter the salon and just take a left, and it's in there. But I don't just have clothing. I have jewelry, purses.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. This is some pictures from it. I have devotional books, a lot of Christian-oriented different books, and I want to be able to get more of that in there because I prayed a lot before I opened this business. I was real scared to open it.
Well, of course you were.
I was just, I was stepping out in a different adventure in my life.
Kurt ever worn one of those?
No.
I'm just curious.
Look, I'm not a big Mardi Gras celebrator, I guess you call it, but I did get these shirts. These shirts were the basis right here. I got these shirts. When I ordered them, I thought they were sapphire blue. They come in and they're just as Mardi Gras purple as you can imagine. So I thought, well, I'll sell them at Mardi Gras.
But, a little Mardi Gras stuff there.
Yeah. I'm fixing to change it out to like a little Valentine's. I'm going to be doing a Valentine's giveaway.
Oh.
Yes, I'm going to be giving a $50 gift certificate away for Valentine's Day.
And explain where your business is. Everybody wants to know.
It's inside of Voila Salon over in Northeast.
Say that real fast.
VOA, Voila Salon.
I remember years ago, I was looking for a W on a building.
I know. People say Voila. But anyway, it's called Vintage South Company. And we have clothing for any age, but I really try to stress that I get comfortable clothes for women. Because when I started this, I had a lot of people saying,
So you're specializing in the woman doesn't want Conway Twitty tight-fitting jeans.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
It's not. And I do have jeans, and they are fitted, but they're not. No, you will not find crop tops in my shop over there.
Scantily, you're saying you don't sell scantily clothing?
I do not. I wanted to focus on clothing for women who you can't find clothes a lot of times. I'm just going to say, I'm not trying to single out ages, but I'm 50.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to wear crop tops and low cut jeans. I don't. So I have stuff that is comfortable and that's classy and cute. And so I wanted to get those things, and it's affordable. I want to stress that. It's not something that's super high priced.
What if you're 45 and need a husband? I mean, how do you go about it?
We can dress you up to find one. We can.
A lot of times that's why those crop tops come into play. Look at me, look at me.
But look, I do want to say this.
What's that?
Like I said, I prayed a lot before I opened the business. Mm-hmm. And to me, it is a faith-based business. To me, it's very important that I stress that. I have a prayer box in there, and there's a story behind that, too. I know we don't have time this morning, but a lot of people go, well, what do you so you put a prayer in there and then what happens? Well, I make sure if there's prayers in there, it's going to go on our prayer list at church. So I'll personally, pray for the person. And also it's like blessings. If you want to put something that's happened that's a great blessing to you, write it down and put it in there, and I will mention it because I believe that God needs all that glory.
Oh, he does.
He does,
without a
definitely.
doubt.
So
Somebody said the word we were looking for is modest. Modest clothing.
Modest clothing. Yes.
There you go. More coming up as we travel along this morning. 7:30. Can you believe it? It's flying.
I know.
We'll be right back. Let's face it, accidents are going to happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see my friends and professionals at Chet's Paint and Body Shop in Center Hill. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
Looking for a deal you can't pass up? Right now, drive off in a quality used car for just $299 down and only $299 a month here at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Meridian. That's right, good reliable cars packed with features at a price you'll love. $299 down, $299 a month. Look, I'm not kidding. This is a real offer that our customers have taken advantage of for years now. Come see us today, Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Meridian.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. You didn't tell the name of your business, did you? Or did I miss it?
I did. It's called Vintage South Company. It's 4903 27th Place. And it's right down the hill from McAllister's in North Hills.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Mm-hmm. It's right in Walla Salon because I do hair there. I'm running back and forth. I needed a little extra something to do because, I did not have enough. But I'm thankful for it. So,
well, we're glad it's doing well for you. As we turn back to the pages of history, it was 1950 that Sam Phillips got an idea. And he got a little bitty building there in Memphis. There wasn't much to it at the time, but, well, it would later be known as Sun Records. And as they say, the rest is history of the magic that was made in that building there. From Johnny Cash to Jerry Lee Lewis, the list just goes on and on and on. Do you remember this girl?
I do remember her. Back in the day, she was in a lot of different things.
And I can't remember if it was a regular one of those, but Morgan Fairchild, y'all remember her?
She was always so pretty.
What a figure. 1950 was when she was born. I'm sure she's still out there, just as graceful as she always was.
I think I saw her on like a Hallmark movie.
Oh, she do that stuff now?
I think she must kind of do a little, I think she did. Still pretty.
Yeah, she didn't have like a Wonder Woman outfit or anything like that, but she was well known.
Normally she was kind of a villainess. Is that what you call it?
Villainous.
Or I don't know what you call it, but she was always the one that, got into it with somebody.
Yeah. She was the mistress, or so to speak, in like Dynasty and all that kind of stuff.
She was a pot stirrer.
Was it Falcon Crest, maybe? One of those?
Maybe so. I can't remember exactly which one she was on, but it was one of those that we watched, either Dynasty, Falcon Crest, or something. I think Knots Landing
Could
was
be.
Another one. It was
Ewing Oil. I'll break off of that. It was the Wimp version of Dallas.
Yeah. I think she was on that.
1959, the day that is remembered as the day that the music died. As we go back to that plane crash that happened, y'all all remember it. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P., the Big Bopper, were killed in that airplane crash there. Yeah. What do you say about it? That'll be the day. And just so many hits and the people that we lost in that.
Horrible.
And of course, Waylon being the one that gave up that seat to the Big Bopper. And we can imagine being without Waylon Jennings. Hate that happened. I remember hearing this as a kid. Skip a rope, Listen to what the children say, skip a rope. Y'all remember that? Well, it became a hit today. It was number 1 on this day. 5 weeks at it. Its name was Henson Cargill. Now, he had other songs, but nobody knows what they were.
Well, I've heard the song, but I had no idea who sung it.
Skip a rope.
Sang it or whatever.
And it was basically a song about kids hearing and knowing more than you really realize. They listen well. Skip a rope. And they talked about the problems that Mom and Daddy had. Skip a rope. And hit home with a lot of Americans. And that's why it stayed there at number 1 for quite some time. Way across town, the phone rings off the wall. If you know he ain't home, why do you keep calling? Well, it'd go number 1 today as we go back for the Black Sheep. John Anderson went number 1 with Wild and Blue. That boy was country.
Yes, I remember the Just a Swingin'.
Yeah.
I think I had a T-shirt that said Just a Swingin'.
Just a Swingin'.
And it had him sitting on a swing on the T-shirt.
John
crazy
Anderson.
what we used to wear. Lord.
And I give kudos to him. I've met John 5, 10, 15 times. Always a good guy whenever you bump into him. There's not many left like that.
I know, doesn't that mean a whole lot? I mean, it really does when you see somebody like that that's famous and they still are so down to earth.
He showed up in Nashville, didn't have a dime to his name, and he had a little carpentry work, and he worked on the roof of the Country Music Hall of Fame. That's where he was being a roofer during the day and played the bars at night. And, well, the rest is history as John finally made it there. Hey Bird Dog, Wake Up Little Susie. Y'all remember the Everly Brothers? It would be today. This is what, 25? Oh my gosh, Candace, this is 2025. This is 11 years ago? Is that right? My arithmetic? 2014?
Yes.
Phil Everly passed away?
Time flies.
I mean, really, 2014 in my head was...
But, you know, they say as you get older, it goes by even faster, it seems like, and I do believe that.
I think it's in supersonic.
Me too, yeah. They've sped it up, fast forward.
And y'all, with what I do now, each day kind of blurs into the next day, and it's like one January after another. We're doing the count.
I know it seems like, you know, it'll be the 1st, and the next thing you know, it's the 30th. I mean, it's just like, where did the time go? I don't know.
Robin says one of her favorites there, Seminole Win. That was a good one.
It was a good one.
Your love is better than money in the bank. Yank. Y'all remember that? That was country. But I have to say, my favorite John Anderson song of all time, I Just Came Home to Count the Memories. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't paint a picture any better than what he was going through of a divorced guy that shows up back at home and doesn't want to admit that his wife has left him. And his whole world is shattered. He painted a picture. What happened to country music? It'd be 2019. This is part of the problem. And the man is deceased. I don't mean anything ugly towards him, but they weren't country. There was nothing about them. They were washed up rockabillys that couldn't make it. And somebody that had too many drinks in a bar decided to sign them to a Nashville label. And this is the beginning of the end of beer songs and tailgates. Steve Ripley. Y'all remember him from the Tractors? Baby likes to rock it like a boogie woogie.
Choo choo train.
You know, that ain't country.
Yeah.
I don't care what planet you're on. And again, condolences on that. He passed away at 19, and it was no slight against him. He was a musician. They just chose to put him in a genre that he was not. Did I say that word right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I have trouble saying that word.
You did say it right.
Whew, boy, late night TikTok videos are paying off for me.
Oh, goodness.
Here's is the word flamboyant that I'm looking for? Look at that picture.
Oh, yeah. That is a little bit when you...
I remember me and my sister watching, I don't know whether it was Solid Gold, Saturday Night, what the show was. Maybe it was Soul Train that he may have been on. But he had windshield wipers, and they were going like this on his sunglasses. You remember that?
Yeah. He's always been that way, though. He's always been out there in his
Crocodile Rock. Yeah, even the sunglasses say I'm a little bit different.
Yes.
Maybe it was the bird feathers that done it.
Hey, it looks like he needs a hat or something. Scotty Ray, he needs like a cowboy hat or something.
I don't think he would fit into the cowboy hat mode.
He always wore
something
like, I don't know. Those glasses are in style now.
You're kidding.
I mean, you see these women wearing these big sunglasses. And they're cute on a lot of people. I can't pull that off.
Didn't look good. Well, that was big during the 80s, wasn't it? The big sunglasses. Wasn't that the 80s when that was popular, or was it 90s?
That's in the 70s, but it's popular now. I kind of call them Tweety Bird sunglasses.
Tweety Bird?
You know, Tweety Bird.
Yeah. I get it now. There was that woman that was on Match Game that smoked all the time. She had those big Brett Summers. She used to have them.
I'm not thinking about Tweety Bird. What's the bird with the foghorn and the
Foghorn
little
Leghorn.
chicken that runs around with the big glasses on? That's what I was thinking.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn. It peaked in 1979, and it would be made a hit over the last couple years as the presidency came about. It was the theme song of Donald Trump. But back in 1979, it was at the YMCA.
The Village People. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of everybody. At first, they tried to resist, and then they realized, hey, this is making us money. We kind of like you, Donald. And probably bigger than it was then. I remember watching this on Saturday mornings.
Oh, yeah, I watched it too. It was good. I liked it.
Why this didn't? Maybe it was the outfit. It just didn't have the.
Yeah. He didn't have that superhero face, really, like hair, like, you know.
But the
like
song
Superman.
was really bigger than the show, wasn't it? Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
Yeah.
World's greatest American hero. The last episode was played today. They only had 45 episodes.
I don't know that I ever saw. Did you ever see him on anything else?
Never.
I don't think I did either.
And do you call that, what kind of hairstyle do you call that since you're a stylist?
Just like.
Perm?
It looks permed. It could be natural curls, though. I don't know. Curly. Really curly.
But it was a good show, but it just, you never heard of that guy again. If it was such a minor role, we didn't recognize him. My, oh my. Did you ever play this stuff?
I did play that. And, you know, and they're back in now. These little miniature games, arcade games that look like the big arcade games, but they're miniature ones. I had a Miss Pac-Man and I think, a Donkey Kong and all that.
Pac-Man, that little.
I loved it. We played back when we went to the skating rink. We all would play the arcade games and stuff. It was neat.
They even had an arcade at the mall, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. They did. They were big. I mean, they were everywhere. That was a big thing. Now, I mean, you can just. I guess everybody sits at home and plays games. I don't know.
And you're right, Terry. Elton John is going blind. He is losing his eyesight. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He's being led around. And you know what? And I don't know what somebody knows the answer to what it is. Like when you see Alan Jackson, Alan Jackson, whatever the disease is called, where he'll fall over, he has to be led because he can. And to see Alan being led, it just reiterates where everybody gets old.
And he had that run in his family, right?
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, there's folks, and then there's Alan Jackson. Him and George Strait are in a category all of their own. Good people. I
love to watch an interview with him because he is so down to earth.
He is.
Yeah.
And you go back to that very first song. And if you'll remember with Alan, he wrote a song called Home. And he couldn't release it because Joe Diffie had released, that was his very first song, was Home. There were two different songs, but they both had the same title. And Alan would have to wait like 10 years before he could release a song about his mom and daddy and what his daddy done to start their home. We would lose her today. It was, 1991. Y'all remember Miss Jane? She passed Nancy Culp, Miss Jane Hathaway. Standing there next to Uncle
remember
Jed.
her. Yeah.
Now, I ain't saying she was the prettiest woman or that. I'll just leave that alone.
Yeah.
But whoever played the part in the remake back in 90, when they done the remake with Vern being Jed, whoever played Miss Jane done a good part of that. It would be 1993. We'd watch this. This was one of the first times we saw this in America. I can remember seeing that truck driver drug out of his truck and beaten in the streets of L.A. Do y'all remember that?
Yes, I remember that. It was awful.
The Rodney King trials began. It was riots. It was burning. The entire town was in chaos.
That was a horrible, horrible thing. That was awful.
And he would end up, I don't remember if it was a heart attack or what happened, but he ended up dying. He was found in his pool. And I can't remember if it was a heart attack, what caused it. Yeah. It's been a little while there. A face that only a mama could love. Is that what you would say?
Yeah, he had a really distinct look.
Yeah, he fit the part mighty good there.
Yeah.
Al Lewis passed away on this day. The Monsters, if you'll remember.
I used to watch that too.
Yeah. And it was that weird girl that was pretty that just didn't fit into the family. It's like, how'd you get in there?
Yeah.
This is, you ever felt sorry for a husband? And I think we all know And I'm sure you've seen it cutting hair. The poor little fellow that has to walk behind her and hold her purse as she yells at him and everything.
Tells
in the world,
him what to do all the time.
It's all his fault. What do they call that? Henpecked?
Yeah.
Henpecked, yeah.
I guess. Abused.
Yes. He would pass away today. America's most abused husband, I think is the word. Nails. His real name was Richard Bull, but you'll remember him from Little House on the Prairie and how any man could live with that woman, Harriet.
Olson was their last name, right on there.
Nels Olson on the 5 and dime.
There's many Harriets out there.
It is.
Kurt, if you're watching, I'm not one of them.
You know, I wasn't going there, but now that you brought it up.
Yeah, I'm not like that. I promise you.
God bless Kurt.
I'm probably hard to live with.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm not a Harriet Olson.
We hear stories. You know, word gets around town. All it takes is one mention and it spreads.
No. Goodness.
But do you remember the episode to where he became the traveling salesman there for a little while, and he was almost persuaded with that old girl that had the inn, and he wanted to leave Harriet because she was so kind to him?
I don't remember that episode, but I do remember a bunch of different episodes.
I was wanting him to go ahead and do it, but he couldn't.
And poor thing had Nellie.
Oh.
To follow along in her mama's footsteps. Oh.
We go to Ole Miss next. This was big. This was an Ole Miss football player. But besides that, he was also a songwriter. Now, he's written other songs, but the number one thing that y'all are going to remember was it Gladys Knight and the Pips that had such a big hit with it? I know Ray Charles did it. It was over and over recorded. A little song called Midnight Train to Georgia. Anybody remember that?
I love that song.
Mississippi's own Jim Weatherly wrote that. He passed away in 21. A big Ole Miss football player and songwriter.
Okay.
But Midnight Train to Georgia.
I did not know that. I didn't know that he was an Ole Miss football player, the one that wrote it.
It's
a great song, though.
There's talents. And Mississippi is just we've got talent when it comes to all of this stuff. We have so many musicians and songwriters, Mac McAnally, the list goes on and on and on.
And locally here from our own town.
Oh, yeah. Father of country music, it's kind of started there. Mo Bandy.
Paul Davis.
Paul there.
My uncle.
Paramore, what's her face?
Yeah.
Paramore. And that ain't it.
Haley Williams.
Yeah, Haley. Why I couldn't think of that at that moment, I don't know. and all our surrounding communities of the Randy Hauser.
Right.
Just boom, 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 boom. It keeps going. And I know I've left somebody out that was just from the hips. What's his name from Collinsville that was in The Temptations? And again, the list is beyond and beyond. This almost slipped past me. It happened back in 2023. It was a lawsuit that just got settled. The town got $22 million over this from the train.
Yes.
East Palestine.
Yeah, a lot of people got sick from that.
The chemicals. And it was word that they should have evacuated the town earlier, and they didn't. It was almost like the movie that, was it Pelham 1, 2, 3? Nonstop that had...
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it was good. It has Denzel Washington in it.
I missed
where the
that.
guy accidentally hits the switch of the train and it takes off with nobody driving it and is hauling chemicals. And good show if you've never watched it.
I need to watch that because I like action-packed stuff.
You would like
that
it.
One, but.
Almost gives you the feeling. I don't know that it was kind of based upon a true story. It gives you that feeling. I don't think that was ever said. Now, we've had a lot of boo-boos. We lost Whynot's oldest home to most likely arson. I don't think it's been 100% determined that, but we do think it possibly was arson over the weekend. We're going to talk to you about that. Whynot, big old home. We'll talk about that next. J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp, trail riding, or just working on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows, call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Candace this morning, filling in for Otis, who is out doing, we don't know, top secret mission out at NAS Meridian.
Yeah.
We'll find out. As I mentioned, let me blow this up. This is so sad when we lose a piece of history, and especially when we're leaning toward it was possibly arson. We had 2 homes that were lost in the Whynot community. One was a mobile home. A couple hours later, another home would go up in flames right at 6 o'clock. Let me show you this. I'm going to hit play on this. Y'all look at this. Older 2-story home, and as everybody was saying, it's the oldest home that was in that community. Let's hit play on this.
It's so sad because it was a beautiful old home. I think it had maybe been sitting for a good while with nobody.
No, nobody lived in
it. But somebody made the comment on one of the posts, I think, that it looked kind of like a Gone with the Wind house. You know, it was old.
And we certainly hate that happened.
Yes.
Again, there was one person that was taken into custody at the scene. And again, I don't know after the investigation. Again, that was just while we were there what went on. One person was taken into custody. And we'll see if there's formal charges on that later. Let me see if I can find. And this would happen roughly 2 hours before that, to where a mobile home on that same road caught fire. This would be in the 4000 block of that same road. A mobile home went up in flames that night, totally destroyed. And again, they go quick. By the time the fire department got there, it was a defensive fire at that point.
But totally different.
Mm-hmm. Now, no one was injured in any of these fires, thank heavens.
Yeah.
Back at the original fire that we showed over there, and I think I got some more pictures of that. Let me, firefighters on the scene. Even the buildings in the back were set on fire as we go through here.
I know there's been a home built in front of that, so thank goodness that wasn't.
Look at that. This was one of the first, how big that fire was. That was miles away. But it was just picture after picture that we got captured from that situation there. We hate it happened.
Yeah, I hate to see old houses like that. Something happening like that's like when you see a big old oak tree that's been there for hundreds of years, and then
whether lightning gets it or
destroys it. It's
up by the roots, and it's just it's a part of us we'll never get back.
Right.
You hate that.
Goodness.
They had a big event downtown Meridian this weekend at the Children's Museum. I thought I'd show these two cute little girls as they were sitting at the Tates. The Love Bug Boogie event is what it was called.
That's cute.
And I had a lot of more pictures, but I didn't get those up on the page. But it was big, and people had fun with that. Another thing that happened this weekend, let's go over what we know as we go here. A couple of people that have signed up to run for mayor. Ty Bell Lindsay has qualified. This was a little after 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon at City Hall. I left from there to go to an accident. I had to step it up to get there. And then right before it was all said and done, we have Stephen Derek Bowler that announced his candidacy for mayor on the Republican ticket.
Okay.
So we've got, I'm going to post those today or first thing in the morning of the way the election looks.
So how many have we got now? Do we know, like, exactly how many?
For mayor, it's 4 or 5 that are running for it. You got Ty Bell Lindsay, Copeland, who's going to be an independent, Percy, Jimmy, and I'm leaving somebody off on the mayor side. Rita Jack is also in there. Now, as we go over here, for Ward 1 councilman, we also, while I was standing there, Tyrone Johnson came in. He qualified as a Democrat for Ward 1. Now, there are 2 Republicans also running for that seat, so it will be a heated little race there coming up. We look forward to seeing how that does.
Good luck.
City Council. Council Ward 5. We also have someone else here who has announced it. Jatera Smith has announced her candidacy for Ward 5. And that Ward 5 is full. I can't even from the top of my head. I'd have to have my sheet in front of me with everybody that's running for that one. It's a heap. Y'all vote wisely. The decisions that you make will have at least 4 years of impact, if not longer after that.
Right. And like, I know a while back when I was here and there was elections going on, and we would say, do your research on people. See, especially if they've held some kind of office before. I mean, see what they stand for and
how they voted.
And yeah, because that's going to probably have a lot to do with the way they're going to handle things if they do get into office. So
we left the fire, and I couldn't help but notice there's a Chick-fil-A sign, so I whooped in early Saturday morning. Look at this. They're going to do this during the month of February. Heart-shaped biscuits down at Chick-fil-A.
Well, isn't that cute?
That's
just cute. Yeah. They have the best food, the best biscuits.
Great service there. They were really, really nice to us there as we came in there Saturday morning. Now, last night, as I'd gone out for something else, to a wreck with injuries, as I was coming back, I was coming down Poplar Springs Drive, and I got a phone call that said, you need to come to the Gas and Go on North Hill Street. So I took a left turn, I went that way, and I arrived, and there was more policies, as they say, that you can imagine in the parking lot. They were everywhere. Mm-hmm. Here's the scene, and let me show you this. Now, this car that is parked right here was pulled over for some form of a traffic violation. Mm-hmm. When she pulls in, instead of listening to the police, she gets out and goes inside the store. And then she would come back out, and at some point there become an argument, and she was not listening to what the police said to do, and mace was brought out.
Oh.
And apparently, I have never been maced in my life, but after I'd done that video, I was getting ready to leave, and I'd opened up the door of my truck, and I heard this hollering, and I thought, my gosh, what is that? I thought it was something else. And it was the female who had been sprayed that apparently it had really taken effect.
Yeah, that would get your attention quick.
But, it also goes back to whether you like it or not, comply, and you can work out the who, what's, and the whens later with police. I won't say it was violent, but there was some type of confrontation with police at that point, and the police officer, being by herself, felt she needed to do that to subdue the person to get them into custody. So, wow.
Yeah, I don't understand people who just try to not comply.
Right. Sometimes it's alcohol or other things that make you not do good. I've seen some dillies in my time as people get taken into custody. But always listen, because it doesn't do much good arguing.
Try to keep the peace.
Yeah, and I do my absolute. I mentioned I had to leave City Hall to go to a wreck. Let me say, I talked to this young lady, and it was, she had a little scratch. Tell me God ain't with you. Let me pull this up here. This is Interstate 59, mile marker 142-ish. Look at this.
Goodness gracious. That's...
Now, what you can't see is around that corner is an 18-wheeler. That's how it all kind of come about. This truck would bump in some shape, form, I don't know whose fault or what, but it came in contact with an 18-wheeler and then slid off the road and then went end over end, as you can see there. And again, as I say, blessed she was, because minor scratch on her.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Look at this.
It wasn't worse than just a scratch. Goodness.
That gives you a bird's eye view of exactly what went on. The highway patrol sitting there to the left. You can't see it in the screen, but she to walk away from something like that.
God was surely watching over her.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Yes.
I'm glad it all ended up okay in the end. That was a lot there. Let me see here. There was something else I wanted to talk about before we went to commercials there. We had 2 people lost their lives in Hinds County, which is on the west side of the county toward Jackson, in a car accident. We certainly hate that. And this is where I was wanting to go. Carroll County. Normally this happens in the earlier part of deer season. Deer hunters are out in the woods and visit places that aren't seen during the summer months. A body was found over the weekend, some remains, and they called the Carroll County authorities. It's an investigation. They have no idea at this point who, what, or how. Could it be a missing person that we've listed? It could. As more details come out on this, we'll let you know what we find on that.
That would be awful.
It is. And something to keep in mind there. Keep your eyes out when you're in the woods. You just never know what you will stumble upon.
That's right.
Oh, we love Candace, she says.
Oh, well, thank you. Y'all are sweet.
We'll be right back with more coming up here at the Scotty Ray Report.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low-mileage cars and trucks. How about a Z71 2500 HD? Or maybe you're looking for the Ford F-150 with lots of leg room in it. Plenty of SUVs like the Explorer for the family. Or if you're looking for a gas saver to go back and forth to work, come by and see the mini cars like this Nissan.
The low-profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
I almost hit the wrong button there. Welcome back, Scotty Ray and Candace. Odie is off this morning. City of Forest contacted me last night. If you're looking for a job, you're in the police, they're looking for a chief. Here's what we got there. If you're interested in that, they're taking applications for chief of police until 4 p.m. the 13th of this month. 10 days to get in your application if you would like to become the chief of Forest, Mississippi. So good luck to everybody applying.
Yeah.
Not a job I would be good at. But it's a lot to do as a police chief. So we wish them luck there. Let's see what else we got going on here. Can you believe deer season's over?
I know. I only got to go. I went a few times. My son and my husband went a good bit. They went a good bit, but I didn't get to go yesterday because I had other things I needed to be doing. So, but yeah, it's over already. You got to wait another whole.
Done. I didn't make it not once this year.
We didn't see a whole lot though where we were hunting. I mean, we saw mostly does.
Some doe nannies.
But my youngest son did get his first buck this year. He was so excited. Mm-hmm.
Nothing quite like it. David McRae let us know that the city of Meridian got some money back. Did y'all see this? $17,000 was returned in unclaimed funds to the city of Meridian. That's a big deal.
That is.
Glad for them. State Treasurer David McRae. They do a lot there. I still got my $120 on there that I hadn't went and claimed yet.
I was going to say there's a lot of people who have unclaimed money. I've checked. I'm not so lucky, though. I don't have any unclaimed.
$120, it says.
I think my mother has some. I don't know. But she hadn't. It was like maybe $100-something too.
We may need to ride together.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd almost pay for the gas to get there.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
You
might could go get enough groceries to fit in a little bag.
Yeah, $100 don't do anything. And I saw this on they said that over the course of a year and a half, eggs have doubled.
Yeah, I have heard.
50%.
It's just crazy to me, though. I can go to the grocery store, and I bet I could lay a hula hoop on the table, and everything would fit inside of that hula hoop, and it's $200. I mean, it's crazy.
You ain't going in without that.
No, it's insane.
And you know this before that you married old Kirk there and put him into a tailspin there. But as a single parent, that's tough on a budget for somebody where we are of raising kids and like
people that can do a budget, that's great. But like if you're somebody who is a self-employed person, it's very hard to budget because you don't know how much you're going to make.
It's up and down.
Well, I mean, depending on your job, you don't know how much you're going to make. So, I don't know. It's very hard to try to go and support one person, much less 3, 4, or 5 people in a family. I just can't imagine.
The old days of, and we remember, and it was before my time, but you could, at one point in America, off a minimum wage support a family. That's not going to happen now.
Yeah. I hope to goodness things come down. I really do. I hope things come down for groceries, gas, and building materials and interest rates. Let's just keep our fingers crossed.
It causes stress, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
We did get a couple of birthdays in, didn't we?
We did. We have Noah Todd is 16 today. Happy birthday. And Stacy Miles Bradley has a birthday today. And also Lisa Ivy. Happy birthday to y'all.
Yeah, big one's there. Otis will be back tomorrow morning. Normally, Otis reads us a Bible verse. I didn't think ahead of time to get Candace pulling it. But remember this, because as me and you were talking before we went live, the good Lord is a part of our lives and part of my business, your business. Keep him in your lives. And all you got to do is ask for a little help, and he'll come help you, won't he?
He will. He will. Do everything that you do in God's name, and he'll bless you. He really will. Yeah. And, he'll give you a direction in which you need to go. So.
It is. We'll be back in a few moments as we get this day going. And, Candace, I can't thank you enough for being a part of this.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being back. And good morning to everybody, if I didn't tell you good morning earlier, and happy birthday to the ones that we might have missed. Hopefully,
Andrew Godwin.
And Michelle Ray. I guess that's Michelle Ray has a birthday. Andrew Godwin, happy birthday.
Yeah.
So it was good to be back, though.
Well, you have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow morning beginning at 7 o'clock. We'll have our first show beginning at 6:30. Join us, won't you? Thank you, Candace.
Thank you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.